It says in shiurim, the last pasuk in Parak Zayin, it says Adudaim natnu leach. The daim are these flowers for the ones that Reuven found for his mother Leah that can help with fertility. And so it says in shiurim, Adudaim natnu leach va pesachinu kol megadim. Megadim are fruits, pre-megadim. We have the sefer pre-megadim. So megadim are fruits. So the medrash, it's brought out a medrash. Apparently nobody knows where this medrash is, but the medrash says that Dudaim Nas Nureach is Reuven, symbolizes Reuven. V'apesachinu kol megadim is the ner chanuka that is at our front doors. So the obvious question is, what is the connection between them? What is Shalom Melech trying to tell us with this? So Ma'amle suggests an interesting, very simple answer. He says, just like Reuven found Dudaim in the field, and that was a mitzvah, and that was a nes, so too, when the Chashmonaim found the Pach Shaman, that was also a nes. So similarly, the one nes, so we're going to compare it to another nes, and therefore they're both up together. But there's really a much deeper explanation that has to be brought out. There's some cipher, but the Mayan Bet Shoeva, he says, Shwab, he says a very interesting verse. He says it's referring to a din of it's called Na'i Darash Na'i Mekayim. When a person who gives Musa Shmuz, who says over Chizuk, or Stam has an idea in general amongst other people, and that idea, he just has an idea, we expect from him that he should be the first person to go ahead and start working on it. The person who thought of it should be the person, unless he's obviously incapable, but at least he should try.
Bridgeport Kollel is Mekayim the minhag.
Very well.
You think of an idea and you're stuck with it for not for you're able to do it for years until you move out.
Right.
Sometimes even after you move out.
So, Rabbi Schwab said Adudaim Nas Nureach is referring to Reuven. Adudaim Nas Nureach is referring to Reuven. Reuven had an idea. He wanted to save his brothers, his Yosef from his brothers, and by not killing him, what did he say? Let's put him in this bar. Now let me ask a very simple question. If you want to save somebody, you're going to drop him to a pit. First of all, we know that he had snakes and crabs, that we spoke about this, and everybody knows about this. But if you want to save him, put him on your back and take him home. Take him to Abba, take him to your father, take him to Yaakov Avinu, and obviously that will be the best way to save him. But instead, what he did was he had an idea, and he didn't go forth with action. He just had a shiur and the man in the future. He didn't actually save him. But the Chashmonaim, they saw that the Klal Yisrael was in sakana. What did they do? They got up and fought. So the Chashmonaim taught us that you get up and do, and it brings up Paris. What's the Paris? Until today we have Ner Chanukah. Until today we talk about Mechiras Yosef. There was no tetzah out of it. Well, obviously not out of Reuben's actions in direct cause, but out of Chashmonaim we have a direct cause that caused a nes Chanukah. So therefore it says a Dudaim Nas Nureach. They gave a smell. A smell is like a thought. You give an opinion. There's no paris out of it. Megadim are fruits. That's something that's a peri. I like to think of an example is Hadas and an esrog. Hadas is a level lower than an esrog. Why? Hadas has a smell, but it has no taste. It's very bitter. As opposed to an esrog has a smell and it has a taste. That's a fruit. When you can taste something, that's a fruit. Chanukah is a time for chinuch of our children. It's a time that we take our time to be mechanech our kids. Obviously, it's always. But the truth is, what is chinuch? Chinuch is an action. You do something, the kids will imitate you. At this point, I know this from my children. They imitate me. They do. They do things that I would do. That's really funny sometimes.
You would smile.
Right. if I did something, if I see my kid doing something that I don't find, obviously right now at this age he's only 2, but if I would see him doing something that's wrong, probably he picked it up from me or from his mother. But if he did, and if he did something that is good, he probably picked it up also from me or from his mother, right? That's the way it is. That's the way life is. Our children are actually our mirror. They're in general, they're our mirror. As opposed to, sometimes, as we like to say, this Rabbi Berger mentioned, he's like, why aren't you looking in your sitter? Why aren't you looking in your sitter? A father looks at his son, what does he say? Why aren't you looking in the sitter? Why aren't you looking in the sitter? Daddy, how do you know? Because you're not looking in the sitter. So if you look in the sitter, I look in the sitter. It's a pretty normal, right? I'm sure anybody who's been told, why aren't you looking in the sitter, you look up and you know, why aren't you looking in the sitter? That's rare. When we say, as our kids grow and our children are growing, by the time some will have children, and we're gonna say something. We're gonna say, yeah, learning is geschmack, learning is important, Torah, and then you come home and you don't learn a word. Mitzvahs are important, yeah, chasadim and this. Look how good this chashav is. Yeah, when was the last time you did a chesed? When was the last time you had guests over? When was the last time you took in a person that didn't have a shot? When you do that, then your kids will actually understand that it's really important. If we don't do that, so the truth is, and what is so obviously chinuch is very important. We want our kids to grow good, but there's something a lot more to chinuch. And I thought about it for a few minutes, and I realized that also there is a pasuk in, I'm not sure, I believe it's Shlomo Melech that says this: Bini, son, im chacham libcha yismach libi gamani. If your heart is smart, I will be happy too. My heart will be happy too. And it also says, Bein chacham yisamachav. Smart son will make his father happy. And it says, Im banim simecha aluluka. All three of these psukim, maybe there's more psukim, I didn't see any. I didn't hear it. All these three psukim are saying the word simcha with good children. Why the word simcha? There is in obviously Rav Naftali, there's 10 words. He says that 10 words that describe simcha. Sasa in simcha, gila, rina, disa, aliza, tefaras. No, really, aliza, yeah, aliz, yeah. There's all the shyness of simcha. Why didn't it say benim chacham libcha yasis libi gamani or yagel libi gamani? Why hismach libi? What's the simcha here? In Torah we see the word simcha. It says Pikuda Hashem Yashar Mesam Chelev. The Pikudim, the laws of Hashem are righteous and the Mesameach Lev. They make someone's heart also. They make a person's heart happy. But Torah learning is something that can only bring to happiness. A person who learns Torah, it can only cause happiness. There's no sadness in Torah. So I was looking through. I saw that Ovadia writes somewhere. He says that if a person sometimes has tzar to get the pshat. You're betzar, but in mafreya, once you chap pshat, when mafreya, it's all simcha now. It's all simcha. But the point is that by Torah we say simcha, and that's a simcha shlema. By bris milah, David Amelech says sasan echel masecha. Masecha is referred to the bris. He says the word sasan. Why the word sasan? So the Gemara, there's a tesis in Moed Katan Chesam Beis and bottom that says that bris milah is not a simcha. Why? Because it's not a simcha shlema, because the baby is betzar. Since the baby is betzar, right? So therefore there's no simcha, and that's why we don't say when we do zimun, when we bench, we don't say shah simcha b'moina. We don't say shah simcha b'moina. I saw in Shas Teshuvas Taras Pazis Michalik that the word sasim is a lower level than simcha. We see that simcha is the highest level. And even a bris doesn't come to the happiness. So we see that when we will be mashpia on ourselves, we will become doers like the chashmanai. Okay, and in that way we instill in our children what we want them to become. We're going to reach the highest level of happiness, which we can't do in any other way. And that's what the chashmanai, that's what Chanukah is about. That's what the chashmanai taught us with the Ner Chanukah.